All right. So we took one trade today. All right. Targeting 13%, and it was in profits.
I'm sorry, sir.
It was
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
I thought you used them $10 to make the trade.
Yes.
How come your profit is only $1?
1.37, 13%. 13% of $10 is 1.37.
Okay, okay. Okay, because it was 30%. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I
Now look at
understand
this.
now. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. So this trade, now look at this. Had it been it was MetaTrader 5, we would have lost this trade because look at this. We predicted that it's going to go down, and then our barrier was somewhere around here. But look at what happened. The market was actually going down in our favor like this, like this, like this, and then started going up, and then we won the trade around here. But look at what happened. It actually got here over where we put our barrier, and then started coming down like this. So this is the difference between trading on this platform and on the MetaTrader 5. If you had took that trade on the MetaTrader 5, you would have lost that trade. You would have lost that trade. And that's one advantage of trading on this platform to trading on. Now, I did not come live. I was supposed to go live on TikTok tonight, but then I can't go live because I'm just getting back home and I'm a bit tired. So I just really want to come here. Let's see if we can actually place another trade. All right, I'm going to drop in another signal. Let's see if we can place another trade. Let's see here. All right, so if we place another trade now, it's going to be we have made us making 27% profit. All right. No, this trade is a very interesting one, but I've actually missed out on this one, and that's another thing that will usually happen to us. We've been missing out on trade. Okay, I'm still looking at this one, but it is very risky. The market can potentially do this before going back up, right? Because there is a lot of imbalance there. There's a lot of imbalance that the market needs to fill. All right. So I will not be taking trade on this one. So let's check another market here coming. I'm going to check. Again, I don't want to go deep into the lecture because we have not actually gotten started. So I will actually be going deep into it soon enough. Now, this one is interesting. Someone is asking how we can join. Let me see if I can. Let me copy this meeting passcode. All right. Okay. Yeah, please, someone should help me attend to that person. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll speak with you.
Oh yeah, thank you. All right, this is what I really want to. Okay, this is what I really want to drop there. Okay, hold on. Let me get all this one off. All this one here is not necessary. I'm trying to get them off. All right, this is just what we need here. All right, so okay, So let's continue here. All right, this one is looking good, but then let me go to the 4 hours. Let's see how this one looks like. Okay, interesting, interesting. This has changed from an uptrend to a downtrend. This is very interesting one. We actually predicted this one earlier today. And then we almost took a trade here today on this, but I wasn't too sure about it. That's why I did not take the trade, but then I think we're going to be taking it.
I personally, I took the trade when you talk about it.
Okay, you took it when we talked about it.
Yes, when you talked about it, I took the trade and it ended up in profit.
It ended up in profits. Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, nice. All right, so I'm going to, now the good thing about trading on this trading type is even when you make mistakes, right? It is forgiving, right? It is very forgiving. So I think I'm going to be taking a trade on this one. Let's look for a suitable place to actually place the trade. All right. Now here I can see this was a temporary uptrend. We have higher high. What is wrong with this thing? Hold on. We have higher high. Why is this thing doing this? Hold on. Okay, we have higher high, we have higher low, we have another higher high, and then we have a break of structure here. This is a break of structure, and then we have lower high, and then we're expecting what? A lower low like this. This is pure market structure here, guys. This is pure market structure. Again, this is all just taking trade with just market structure. I've not even started using other blocks and all this stuff yet. But this is volatility 10-1x index. That's why I'm always saying market structure is the key. So I'm going to go to volatility 10-1x index. Then I wish we had entered this trade earlier, but then we can still enter this trade and just put our barrier here. This 17%. So here, so this we're targeting 13%. All right. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this. So I'm going to use my equity 11.37, and I'll be expecting what? A total equity of around 29%. 29%. Right. I'm going to take this trade. So let me drop the signal in the group. Let me drop our signal in the group. All right. So signal. All right. So this is how we're going to be taking our signal. So volatility 10-1x index. 10-1x index. Hold on, I'm typing this in the Telegram group. Volatility 10-1x index, no touch. Duration, 5 hours duration. Barrier is going to be barrier is plus 32.78. All right. And then there's something I need to add, guys. There's something I need to add. I'm going to add trade signal is invalid. 10, let's say 10 minutes after this post. All right, so 10 minutes after this post, this signal is no more valid. All right, so someone took a trade today and then the person lost why we won because the person took the trade. The person took the trade late. All right, person took the trade very, very late, almost over 30 minutes after we took the trade. So that's when the person took the trade. So it was very invalid. So that is that, guys. So let's do a little bit of learning today. Let's do a little bit of learning. So I'm going to be talking a bit about time frame. Now, these are the things that we are going to be learning in the mentorship group. Now, again, aside taking, aside we trading like this in the mentorship group, we taking signals like this, compounding, and then again, let me remind us what we are doing. Right? Let's assume, right, the minimum I want us to start for the compounding is $20, but then let's assume you want to come with $20. Like the minimum is going to be $20, right? When we start, and there's a reason for that. Right. So let's assume you start with your $20, right? We're targeting 27%. And then for 15 days, right? 15 days, this is the return, $701. $701. Okay, let's assume that we did not, what today's topic was. We are not treating anything today. We have not really officially started. This is just us having a normal conversation so you understand the whole thing properly. All right. So let's say we were able to get to $600, right? $600. So it's going to be 600 times 1,000. Let's use 500, right? 1,500. That is 900,000 naira. With how much? 20 times 1,600. 32,000. With 32,000 in 15 days, we could have over almost a million naira, which is very possible. Just the same thing we are doing, right? The same way we took a trade today. Now, just that this is how we're going to be doing the mentorship group. I'm going to be setting time. We're going to try to fix this issue of not everybody taking the signal. That's why I don't want more than 20 people, right? That's why I do not want more than 20 people. So once we have, I think we have a lot of people, a few people already in the paid mentorship group. I've not added them to the group yet, but by tomorrow, I'm going to be adding those that are paid to the group. So once we get to 20 participants in there, I won't be taking any more persons, right? So because the reason for that is so I'll be able to help those 20 people monitor their trades, make sure that no one makes any mistakes and all that. So that's what I'm going to be ensuring. So I don't want too much people in there. Right? So 20 people is the maximum I can take. So if you want to be a part of this and you're not in the mentorship group already, then you'll be missing out because, of course, a lot of people are trooping in. Now, I'm going to be going live on TikTok tomorrow a lot. I'm going to be live a lot on TikTok tomorrow. And then, of course, we're going to have a lot of people join in. And then a lot of people want to join the mentorship group. So if you are still not in the mentorship group, trust me, you're missing out. And again, the discount is still going on. It's still going on right now. So I am doing a 50% discount today. So instead of $30, they're going to be paying $15. By tomorrow, it's going to be going back to $30. All right. So that's it for that. I just really want a lot of more people to join. That's why I am doing the discount today. So that's how we're going to do it on that. So we have actually took a trade here already. Then let's see. It's all right. We are not yet in profits. We're just still moving. But then the good thing here is as long as whatever it's doing, as long as our time countdown is we're having this countdown, that's just what we want. We make sure that even if it does, that's what happened today. The market does stuff like this, like this, like this, but then it's ended before it's now actually went something like this. But we have already finished the trade and we've already won the trade here, somewhere around here. So that's just the good thing about trading with this trading type. And then again, I'm going to be holding your hands through all this, so you won't have to go through all this process alone. Now, I'm going to be holding your hand through all this till you become a professional yourself, till you know how to trade and place this trade for yourself, right? So that's how we're going to be doing it. Now, just looking at this today alone, let's say I started this account with $100. By the end of this trade, I would have made $29, almost $30, right? But I started with $1,000, I would have made $290, almost $300. So it's crazy. But this is real account. This is not demo account here. This is real account, right? This is a demo account here. This is real account. Of course, many of us took the trade, so it is a real thing. It is not whatever. This is a real thing. So, so whatever we're calculating here actually works. All right, it actually works. Let me just show you, right? The $10, the one I'm doing right now, the $10. All right. So let's say $13, right? 13. Let me show you. So you see that the calculation is actually correct. So look at the first trade I took was 11.30. All right. So look, let's check our balance here. It was 11.37. Even we had more, right? 11.37, as you can see. So at the end of this second day, this day two, right? This is 13%, right? This is the second trade. We're having 12.77. But then let's see if that is correct. At the end of this, we are going to be having 12.93, even more. All right. So if we follow this accordingly, there's even a possibility we have more return than what we even originally anticipate. Because as you can see, it is not sometimes look at this one now, it is not just 13%, it's 13.63. All right, that's why we have more on this. So by tomorrow, I'm going to be taking two more trades. So by tomorrow, we are going to, that $10 would have gotten to 16.31 at the end of tomorrow. So it's as simple as that. So it is not something complicated. And then again, you do not want to miss out on this. It's a one, again, I won't be doing this. This is not something I do every month. So this is probably kind of like the last section I'm going to do for this year. All right. So you don't want to miss out on that. Learning, participating in this and all that. You do not want to miss out on that. Trust me. You do not want to miss out on that. So I'm going to be giving room for any question. Do anyone have any question? Any question before I proceed?
So, will you still be posting your lessons on what's it called? On YouTube?
Okay, now for the paid mentorship group, anything we are doing in the paid mentorship group, of course, I'll post it on YouTube, but then it will not be accessible to the public. It is only those that has the link to the video that will be able to access the video. So those in the paid mentorship group, once we have a meeting like this, of course, it's going to be recorded just like this one is being recorded. And then I'm going to post it on YouTube and then drop the link in the mentorship group. So if you just go to my YouTube channel, you will not be able to find the video except you have the link. And only those in the mentorship group will have the link to be able to rewatch the video. All right. So that's how we're going to be doing. So it's not going to be like after I post, anybody can just go there and watch. No, it's not going to be like that. So any more questions? Any more questions?
Yes, please. One more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you calculate your barriers?
Okay, like this thing is so easy that I do not even have to calculate any barrier. See, we're already moving into profit on this one. It's just me dragging this. I just drag it to where I want it to be, right? And then, guys, concerning where I want it to be, right? This is just it, right? Again, I'm using, hold on. Again, I'm using, hold on. I really need to reply someone here. All right. So like I was saying, we're using market structure. So let's say in a downtrend, for instance, we have what? Lower low, lower high, lower low like this, lower high. And then we are beginning to have this move like this. Where am I going to put my barrier? Is either here or here. We cannot just put it anywhere, right? So knowing where to put your barrier is very important. Let me do this again. In an uptrend, we have higher high, higher low. And then we are beginning to have this move here. We are sure that this thing is going to go up. And then we want to enter the trade here. Is it that we put our barrier here or down here? All right.
So all you do is just to drag the blue line where you want it to be, right?
Yes. Yes. That's what I do. I just literally drag. Like, look at this one now. Look at this. Where did I put my barrier? Here. Look at this. Let me just show you something. Right. We have what? I'm having.
Oh.
Hold on. Okay. Look at this. I had higher high like this, higher low, higher high. And then I had this break of structure, lower high, and then lower low. What am I going to see? I deliberately put my barrier up here, right? Up here because I cannot see. Do you know that I could literally reduce these hours to like maybe 1 hour or like maybe 2 hours or 30 minutes and then put my barrier here. But it's so unreasonable or illogical to put my barrier right there. There is no reason for me to put my barrier there because if this market wants to go back, there's nothing that is going to stop it from eating my barrier. All right. But then, even if this market, right, even if this market wants to go back like this and break to the upside, it will slow down because, of course, there are a lot of things that is going to stop it here. There's an order block here that is going to still slow it down. Like it's going to consolidate around here till I get to what's my finish line, right? I get to my finish line, and yeah, hold on, please. Someone wants to say something, or you want to ask a question? Who is that?
Sir, I want to ask something, sir.
Okay. Go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Deriv platform is it site.
Come again.
About the Deriv platform, is it best to use the app? Oh, good. About the Deriv platform, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. About the Deriv platform, is it best to use the app or the site?
It's advisable to use the site. I always use the site. I don't use the app.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yes.
That's come to ask.
Yes. All right. So, like I was saying, knowing where those are the things that we're going to be learning. Knowing where to put your barrier is another important thing. Knowing where to put your barrier is another important thing, right? I'm not just going to put my barrier anywhere. It is at either this level, or this level. I cannot put my barrier here, anywhere around here. I can't, right? It's either going to be at this because at those levels that a lot of things here that is going to push the market or slow it down, even if it's going to go up. All right, and that's what we want. Slow it down or push it back. All right, that's what we want. So these are the things that we're going to be looking at. Again, guys, this trading method can help you in a lot of ways. Let me show you. Let's say you are stranded or you're broke. Or you can literally start with $5. Let's say you start with $5 and then you're targeting just this 13% per day. And you do that for what? 30 days. Look at this, $190. And then you get this, you can now start with maybe $50. That's what I do. You can now do again with $50, do again for that month. And then look at this, 1,900. In 2 months, from being broke, you can be afloat again. $1,900 is not a small money. All right. And then there are ways to do this really profitably, right, guys? There are ways to do this profitably. Like you are not going to be risking too much at all. There are ways to do this. Those are what we're going to be. Those are things that there's still a lot I'm going to show us. Right? There's still a lot I'm going to show us. That 1,900. Let's see we're able to get to 1,600 times 1,500. That's 2.4 million. That is crazy. It's very crazy. All right. I've done this now. Again, I'm not in the business of showing screenshots and all this kind of stuff. I like to show you exactly how it is. I show you firsthand how it is and how we're going to be doing this. All right, so that's what someone is okay. So you can ask your question if you want to ask a question.
Okay, can you go back to the chat, please? Okay, you were saying that you can't just put your barriers in the middle.
Yes.
Because okay, now when let me say you're on the trade and you see that maybe the market is going to hit your barrier, and you know well that you have something, you have a barrier, you have something that is going to slow it down, that is slowing the market down. Do you have to take any action? Like
okay. That is a good question. Now look at guys. Hold on. 1 minute. All right, so now this is what we're going to be doing. Now for the compounding interest, let's say I start with like $100, for instance. Let me show you something. And then I'm doing this 27%, right? And then 15 days, right? Now, when we get to like days like this is 3,500. When we get to days like this, maybe day 9 or day 8, when we get to like over 500, like day 8, day 9, this is what we're going to be doing. Of course, for each trade we take, we're targeting 13%, right? Now we're going to be taking so much precise trade that we're going to be having a 7% stop loss. So once we have minus 7%, we close the trade. We don't want to know what happens. That's why I'm saying we might not get this exact figure. So once we have minus 7%, now even we're not going to be taking these kinds of trade here. Look at this trade now, it's beginning to reverse back. And I anticipate that would happen, right? And because look at this, it's a nice trade, but this is the perfect time that you should have entered somewhere around here. So we're going to be looking for precise trades to take when we start getting to interesting days, because these kinds of days we cannot afford any loss. So we're going to be doing a 7% stop loss, 13% take profit. So let's say we lose one day, the next day we win, we are able to recover previous day's loss and then with profit. Worst case scenario, we have 2-7. We hit our stop loss 2 times in that 2 times in a row, like today and tomorrow. That's the worst case scenario. All right, so we can have 3 losses in a row like that. Right, that's just the worst case scenario. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing. Look at these kinds of trades now. I would not on a normal day, I would not take this kind of, because that's gone too far, right? That's gone too far. The perfect time to have entered this market would have been here, but I just still entered the trade because I still know it's still going to be a winning trade. Even though it's a bit risky, like we could see something like this happening, like this. Here now, look at this. There is the other block we have here. Also, what we think will push this thing back is here, this one here. This is another block here. All right. And that's why I was a bit confident to enter this trade, right? Because there's an other block here. All right. Or a supply zone, right? So even if this market wants to go back, right? It wants to do something like this, gets here, it push it back down like this. Even if it's going to break through here, we would have been done with our trade. That is my prediction for this. So, but on a normal day, now on a normal day, we would wait, right? Would wait for a pullback, because I just wanted to take a trade while I'm on this live. But if I have to be giving us signal in the paid mentorship group, I would wait for a pullback like this to happen, a pullback, because it's still going to happen, right? At some point to this level before we now see a continuation like this. So my anticipation is before all this thing happen, it should not even get to all this level, all this place, right? Worst case scenario is going to get here. But even if it gets there, we are still in the clear. Hold on. So worst case scenario is going to get there. So this is my anticipation for this. But then again, it could literally. So I just was able to quickly scan everything that's happening. But again, it could just literally keep going down like this before it start coming up and then keep going down like that. But then either way, we are still going to be, this trade is still going to be, it's still very in a clear. But then on a normal day, if I'm to be giving us signal, like we have started with the real account, I won't take this trade. I'd really wait for a pullback before I enter a trade, right? Before I enter a trade. And then I'll even wait for a much more confirmation. Here, I didn't even wait for any confirmation. I just looked at the trade and I entered, right? So I won't be doing that there. I won't be doing that. Look at here now. Look at this now. Look at this move. Hold on, let me show you guys something. This move here. Look at this move here. This move, this place at which this one come here and go down. There's a confirmation here that we're going to wait for before we can sell this one. And where is the confirmation? We have seen this happening already on the 1 hour time frame. After this move here, the confirmation, I'm just going to go to like the 5 minutes here. I'm going to go to the 5 minute time frame. Then I'm going to wait for my, like, look at the move here. And then here we're having what? Higher high. We have this higher high, higher low. And then we have this high. And then we have this break like this break of this, break of this, but I will not call this break of structure because this one did not change of character, because this one did not break structure. So what would I actually wait for is this, and then a pullback. See, same thing that I'm saying, a pullback here, and then here would have been a perfect opportunity to sell. But everything is still telling us that this market is going to, push to the downside, right? So we are still in a clear on this one. So there are a lot of things that we look at before we actually enter a trade. Actually, but then because I have done this so many times, I can actually see through all this shit. That's why I did not really go into all this smaller time frame before I was able to place my trade on there. I can just look at a market and know if this market is, a good one to take a trade on or not. All right, so that's just the thing. You can actually be that good. As you can see, we're already in profit on this one. We're already in profit on this. So that's just the thing on this. So guys, any more questions? I'm going to take 1 or 2 more questions before we end this live session. I mean, did we take this trade? It's no more valid anyway. This trade is no more valid. So if you are taking this trade, is at your own risk. Because now, if you want to take this trade, this is what you'll be taking. This is where your barrier would be at. Hold on. This is where your barrier will be at, guys. If you are taking this trade now, this is where your barrier will be at. And then it is pointless, because look at this. Even if this market wants, I said earlier that it's either the market do its shit, come to this level and before coming down, or worst case scenario, it comes to that level. This is our another order block here. Another order block here. Now imagine if the market wants to just test this order block. Look at this. It will now do like this. It will take you out before start going down like this. And then you will lose the trade. We will win the trade. And so now I'll be like, what's wrong with this signal? Is the signal wrong or what? So that is why taking the signal when I drop this signal is very important. All right. Taking the signal when I drop it is very important. All right. It's very important. So let's take note of that. We should know that markets do get invalid, like trades do get invalid. Now, the only thing you could do in this scenario is, which is something I will not even advise again, is to bring your barrier up to that level, like this, to the same level we're at. But then look at this, 9%. But then because it's 9.50%, what we could do is you could just increase your hours. Now you can increase to 6 hours. Now it's about 13%. But then once we finish, you still have 1 hour more to go. It's as simple as that. But then this is not something I will advise. If you miss taking a trade, you'll have to wait for the next one. And then to affect your general overall results. So that's just the thing with this. All right. That's just the thing with this. All right. So that is that on that. That is that. So I'm going to be ending this live section tonight. I hope we've learned another thing about taking signals and everything again tonight, which is very interesting. So I'm going to be ending this live session tonight. Again, if you're interested in joining the mentorship program, tonight, there's still a discount tonight of $15. Instead of $30, you pay $15. So that's it for tonight. So thank you guys for joining. I'm going to be ending the live session. It's been recorded, so I'm going to be posting on YouTube and then posting the group in the Telegram